In 2024, I made over $200,000 cutting hair at the age of 23. And these are my 10 lessons that I learned about making more money, building clientele, and raising my haircut prices. Now, the first one is one you probably don't expect, but actually in the beginning, you have an advantage that other more experienced barbers don't have. Your biggest advantage in the beginning is actually your availability. You simply just being in the shop and being available and having an open schedule will help you to gain clients that other barbers that are busier won't be able to gain because they're not convenient to book with. You gain so many clients in the beginning just by being available. In the start of my career, I gained so many clients just by always being in the shop, having spots open in my schedule, and squeezing in walk-ins when I could. But you don't actually get the benefit of that if you're always leaving the barbershop or if you're taking these hour lunch breaks. Your biggest strength in the beginning that other barbers don't have is that you're available, that you can fit in those last minute appointments and you can lock them in. Because if they're just walking into these different barbershops, they don't have a locked in barber. Those are the clients that you want to lock in. But you throw away your biggest strength, which is your availability, when you are simply not available. When you leave the shop for an hour to take a lunch break, or when you leave early, when you come in late, or when you're just not in the shop. Stay in the shop. Just show up consistently, especially if you work in a barbershop where there's other barbers that are slacking off. Those clients, they're gonna see that, wow, like this barber's always inside the shop, always reliable, always ready to go, always ready to take a client. That person actually wants to work. I gained so many clients from just other barbers slacking, but I wouldn't have if I didn't show up consistently. Now, the second one is about booking apps. And guys, booking apps matter. There's certain booking apps that just kill barbers' pockets all day long because they make it harder for clients to book with you and you don't even own your own clientele. When you make a client have to download an app to book with you, you're putting up like a barrier and you're saying like, hey, I don't want your money if you're not gonna download this app. Guys, why would you make it harder for clients to book with you? Make it easy for them to book with you. Get a booking app that doesn't force somebody to have to download an app. Imagine we live in such a distracted society. One small little barrier can throw somebody off. They totally forget about booking with you and they just walk into the shop. Make it easy. Think about Amazon. Amazon, they have this button where you literally just click one button and then you can buy something. It's a buy now button. They make it easier for people to give them money. Make it easy for your clients to give you money. And that's why even to this day, I don't require a credit card to book with me. I just don't. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're like a super premium barber and you're doing like 2-hour services, then yeah, you kind of got to do that. But for like the average everyday barber, that's just adding another wall. If you have to force your clients to put a card down and book with you and they're not going to show up, you think about it. They probably don't want that haircut in the first place. If somebody wants that haircut, they're going to show up regardless if you have them put a card on file or not. Choose a booking app that actually allows you to own your clientele. There's booking apps out there that will literally start to show your clients to other barbers with pictures, with reviews, and all this type of stuff. And those barbers are paying for it. You might even be paying for this right now. If you gain a client that wasn't originally yours from a booking app that showed your profile to somebody else, you don't think you're losing clients the same way that you're gaining them from another barber? Why would you pay for a service that literally sells your clients to other barbers and then you're still paying to use that app every month? Guys, when you work hard to gain a client, you want to own that client. You don't want to market them to other barbers. You want to own their data. There's some booking apps that right now you even may be using that won't even let you have the list of all of their names and their phone numbers. But yet you still pay for that service every month. You don't even own your own clientele. Your client is really the booking app's client. It's not even your client to begin with. Get a good booking app. The third one is one that not a lot of barbers talk about. And it's simply this. It doesn't matter how good you are at marketing if your service is trash. Your service is everything. Your service is what keeps clients in your chairs, but your service is also what helps other clients find out about you. It's called referrals. Like, you can grow your business by just getting referrals, by nothing else, but it comes to you having to do a great service. I call this a word-of-mouth worthy service. A word-of-mouth worthy service means a service that is so good that clients don't want to leave, and when they come back, they bring a friend with them. That's a friend, a family member, a coworker, their kids. They bring other people to you. They start to tell other people about you in their free time. You're growing your business without doing anything but a great service. And as crazy as it is, you can do a super simple haircut. If you just learn how to make a client like feel amazing and make them feel valued and respected and important, clients will pay you crazy money. If you come off like a professional, if you tailor the haircut to them and you just bless them, clients will pay you crazy money for just a good haircut. To this day, I have clients that will pay me $60, $80, $90, $100 for a haircut. No hot towel, no facial, no enhancements, no nothing. Just for a haircut and a conversation. And really, the relationship. That's what some clients will pay you top dollar for. They won't even care how much you charge. They're gonna pay you what you're worth. And you can increase how much you get by just giving a great service. It's super simple to do, but it's also super simple not to do. And that's why a lot of barbers don't do it. You get so caught up in all this marketing techniques and tactics, you forget the basics of just actually caring about the person that's in your chair in the first place. And this is where a lot of barbers mess up. Your service is everything. My fourth point, you do not determine how much you are worth. You can't just wake up one day and say, man, I feel like I'm worth more, I'm gonna raise my prices. Price raises come from two things. They come from two things and two things alone. They come from one, just a market raise, which is like inflation, cost of living goes up, everything goes up, rent goes up, your light bill goes up. So yes, sometimes haircut prices go up just for cost of living and inflation. But they also go up because you're actually in demand. And when you're actually in demand, that's your clientele telling you that you're worth more than what you're charging. If you just wake up one day and say, man, I think I'm worth more, I'm gonna raise my prices, go ahead. Watch how many clients you lose. Just watch. Your clients are literally gonna leave because you're not in demand. The only way that you can really determine what you're worth is if you actually put forth more effort in the barbershop. You do a better service. You do better marketing. You build your demand. Then people will naturally start to pay you crazy amounts of money. And when they actually pay you that money, they're telling you what it's worth. Think about it. You may charge $30 for a haircut, right? But if somebody's giving you $50, they're telling you this is worth $50. If it wasn't worth $50, they wouldn't give you that money. Think about it like this. This is a Band-Aid. If you had like a paper cut and I said, you know what? I think that this Band-Aid is worth $1,000. Pay me $1,000 for this Band-Aid. You're gonna tell me it's not worth it. I'm not paying you $1,000 for a Band-Aid. And this is proof that you don't just wake up and determine what you're worth. But what you can do is put out better service. You can gain more clientele. You can build relationship with your clients. And then when they start giving you that money, they're telling you what it's worth. When I raised my prices, I just raised my prices to what I was already getting from my clients. I was already getting $35, $45, $55 for a haircut, even though I only charged $25. So when I raised my prices, all of my clients stayed. Over 80% of my clientele stayed. So I actually made more money versus a lot of barbers just randomly wake up, decide to change their prices and lose all their clients because you wasn't worth it in the first place. That doesn't mean you can't work to that point, but you have to actually put the work in. You don't just wake up, watch one Instagram motivational video and decide you're gonna raise your prices by $20. It's not how it works. My fifth point, stop listening to everybody. The people that you listen to, the mentors, the people that you're gonna take advice from, don't just listen to them for these stupid reasons of, oh, they got a lot of followers. Unless your goal is to gain a lot of followers, but if you wanna build a clientele, listen to people that have actually built clienteles. Listen to people that are actually busy, that actually have gotten people busy. Don't just listen to somebody because they got some cool videos and some followers, because you have to ask yourself, am I trying to build a following or am I trying to build a clientele? Now, I'm not saying you can't do both, but ultimately your bills got to get paid. So how about we build a clientele and then we could build the following? Or how about we prioritize building the clientele while we build the following? Whatever you want, you got to listen to somebody that's already gotten those results. Just imagine this. If let's say you want to get in better shape, would you listen to somebody that's fat give you advice on how to get a six-pack? No, you wouldn't. And I don't say that to be mean. I don't say that to be hurtful. I don't got a six-pack, to be real with you. But I tell you, I'm not going to listen to somebody in worse shape than me. I'm going to listen to somebody in better shape than me so they can help me grow. They really know how to walk the walk. So what I'm saying is, if you want to grow, listen to somebody that has the results that you want, or that has already gotten the results for other people. Listen to those people. Don't just listen to the first person with an opinion, because everybody has an opinion, but not everybody's opinion is actually gonna help you. And for me, sometimes it was family members, it was friends, it was certain barbers in the shop giving me advice, and I had to stop listening to them and just focus on my mentors at the time. And that's a huge reason why I grew so fast, because I listened to my mentors and I took action on what they said. Listening isn't just hearing them, but listening is like you hear the information and then you take action on it. You actually do what they said. You don't just listen and go do something completely different. That's not listening, for real. My sixth point, you're never gonna get booked up if you actually don't have a strategy. Barbers need a strategy. A lot of barbers just wander through their career, just doing all this random stuff for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time. They don't even stay consistent and do anything for a long time. But this is a business at the end of the day. You can't just show up and cut hair. You need time to work in the business, that's cutting hair, but you also need time to actually work on the business, and that's marketing, that's learning, that's studying. You need time to do both because you're self-employed. So you're the marketing guy, you're the finance guy, you're the barber, you're the cleaning person, you're everything. So you gotta learn how to work in the business and work on the business. You need a strategy. Inside of this community, don't worry, it's a free community. There's 2 videos that I really want you to watch. Now, if you go to the classroom section, inside of Start Here, you get to kind of see the roadmap, right? And how we paint success and how we scale barbers through different types of income levels. Now, the video I really want you to see is inside of the 6FB mini course. Now, if you go right here, this first video I need you to watch. It is the $100,000 a year barber strategy. And you see where I'm talking about you as the barber, but you as the business person, and it paints out a high level strategy, a high level view of your business. So you can actually see it and you can understand how the marketing plays into your service, how your service gets you more clients, and exactly what you need to focus on so it can all work together. A lot of people in our community actually love this, and they loved how much it's simplified their journey to making 6 figures. And for me personally, like, I love to make stuff simple. I don't think that this has to be complicated. That doesn't mean it's always gonna be easy, but it can be simple. So go in here and check out the video. It's 100% free. My 7th point. If you are a barber, slow seasons do not exist. Barbers will sit in the shop and complain that it's slow. And this is not true. It's true, but it's not true. And I'm gonna tell you why. Yes, in barbering, there will be seasons that are naturally a little bit busier. And there will be seasons where it's naturally a little bit slower. But your business shouldn't live and die by walk-in traffic. Your business shouldn't live and die by the seasons. I'll tell you this, and this isn't to brag. You know how much I made in my slowest month cutting hair last year? I made $16,000. My slowest month was January, and I made $16,000. In a month where everybody says January is the slowest month ever, I made $16,000. Guys, I want your slow months to be busier than another barber's busiest month. Guys, when you have a real clientele, when you have real volume, it doesn't matter the season. You're just gonna be cycling through the same people anyways. Whether you're in a hot season or a little bit of a cold season, you should still just be working to gain clientele. At the end of the day, people are getting haircuts every single day. They're just not getting a haircut with you. It's not like clients just go and say, hey guys, everybody, we're just gonna agree, nobody gets a haircut on Tuesdays. Like clients don't do that. They don't just wake up, go to the group chat and be like, hey guys, it's a Tuesday after Christmas, nobody gets a haircut today, we're gonna just stand up and make barber slow. No, clients are getting haircuts, they're just not getting haircuts with you. It's not that it's slow, it's that your clientele is not big enough. Guys, if you want real growth, like, you have to understand, you're self-employed. You are the business. The shop isn't slow, you're slow. Don't blame the shop. Don't blame the shop owner. Don't blame the random clients that aren't getting a haircut with you. Don't blame the other barbers in the shop. Blame yourself. That's okay. Just your clientele is not big enough yet, and that's okay, but we can solve that problem. But it starts by you looking at the barber in the mirror and saying, I'm just not busy enough. I need to market myself more. And really ask yourself, like, have I really been marketing myself? Have I really been putting myself out there? Have I really been locked in? Have I really been putting in the work? Ask yourself that. At the end of the day, you can't lie to yourself. You are the only person in your business. You are self-employed. If your business isn't performing good, it's because you're not performing good. I'm saying this with so much passion because I feel like I'm talking to like my past version of myself, that I would go and I would complain and make it everybody else's fault when in reality it was my fault the whole time. You're just not busy enough, and that's okay. But you have to own it so that you can actually do better. You can learn that whatever you've been doing, even if you've been doing some of the right stuff, you obviously haven't been doing enough. Because if you were doing enough, you would be busier. Point blank, period. My 8th point, discounts are stupid. And if you're a barber, I'm gonna tell you why. Discounting your haircut price is probably one of the dumbest things that you can do, because discounts bring discount culture. People that only and always want a discount. Guys, if they are choosing your services because they're discounted, that means the most important thing is price for them. So when you raise your prices, you're gonna lose those clients. You're literally breeding like a discount culture inside of your business. And I understand why you think it works, because it might get you some client flow, but in reality, those discount clients are never gonna wanna pay full price. And they're not gonna stay with you whenever you raise your prices in the first place, because the same reason why you gain a client is the same reason why you'll lose a client. If you gain a client because you were the cheapest out there, when you raise your prices, they'll leave. If you gain your client from your great service, when your service starts slacking, they'll leave. If you gain a client because you're always super punctual, when you start being super late, they'll leave. Clients tell you what they value. You can even ask them, hey, like, what made you want to book with me? Or why are you still a client of mine? And whatever they tell you, they're literally telling you what they value. Or you can ask them even this, a better question. If you wanna find out why your clients are actually with you, just ask them this question. What about your last barbershop or barber experience made you end up looking for a new barber? Whatever they tell you, they're telling you exactly what they value. And they're also telling you the exact reason why they would leave your chair in the future. If they tell you because the barber was always late, as soon as you start to be late, they'll leave you. Or if they say, oh, my barber raised my prices, or my barber raised his haircut price. As soon as you raise your haircut prices, they're out. Or my barber was always slacking on my haircut. If you start slacking on their haircut, they're out. The same way that you gain a client is the same way that you'll lose a client. My 9th point. If you think a suite is better than a barbershop, you're just wrong. Especially if you're a newer barber. Guys, I was doing the same thing as other barbers that were in suites, but yet I grew faster. The simple reason why is just purely volume. Barbershops are gonna have more volume than suites, especially if it's a decent barbershop. Guys, in a barbershop, you are exposed to more clients. You have some type of walk-in traffic that you can always make better. And usually, you're gonna be in a better location than just a suite where nobody can see the shop. Think about it, in all suites, it's a big building that just says suites. It's not a big building that says barbershop. Also, you get to learn from other barbers on what to do and also what not to do. And in the beginning, you're usually not as skilled, you're not as good. So you need to learn what are the do's and what are the don'ts. And this helps you close the gap on your skills. My haircuts, my marketing, my customer service, all of that got so much better because I was exposed to other barbers. I got to see, man, look at that haircut system, or man, the way he greets his clients, or the way he's always talking to his clients and telling them stories, or wow, that dude is posting content and I'm actually seeing him grow on social media. Whatever it is, you get exposed to way more. It's a volume game. And on top of that, if you're in just a decent barbershop, usually the barbershop's gonna do some type of marketing. So now you have the barbershop's marketing that's helping you get busier on top of your own personal marketing that's gonna help you get busier, versus when you go into a suite, it's all on you. When you're going to a suite, they're not specifically marketing you, they're marketing their suites. In a suites, you're a one-man army. I know barbers that are in suites right now, and majority of them tell me that they would rather just be in a good barbershop. Guys, like, success leaves clues. Just get into a good shop. I've seen barbers join certain barbershops and they make 8K or 10K their first month just because it's a good shop. A shop is supposed to be a platform for your growth. So do the research, pick the right barbershop, join the right team, and put in the work. My 10th point, if you're a barber with side hustles, you're stupid. Barbers will take their time and their attention away from cutting hair, away from the main thing, and put it into these other side hustles, these other ventures. They split their attention into these different little side hustles and different little businesses. All of these things, they are distractions, and they're distractions that kill your growth. I don't care if they take a little bit of time or a lot of time. They are inherently just distracting you from the main thing from cutting hair. And the real money in cutting hair is from getting busy, from getting booked and actually raising your prices. When I rose my prices, I made an extra $40,000 that year. Imagine if I was worried, instead of doing that, on a couple extra side hustles that made me an extra $100 here or an extra $200 here that just took my time and attention away. Versus I can just lock in, raise my prices, make $40,000 and not have to do anything extra. It's a lot simpler. You don't have to stress yourself out. If you want to make more money, just make more money. Cut more hair, so get more clients or do more services and raise your prices. That's it. When I raised my prices, I was able to raise them 40% and make an extra $40,000 that year. And that could be you too, but it's gonna take you cutting the extra distractions, just focusing on barbering, and ultimately just locking in. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. 3 years ago, I didn't know any of this stuff. Right? I was just a kid in a garage, just wanted to make more money. And the reason why I speak so passionately is because I feel like I'm speaking to a younger version of myself, a dumber version of myself, a version of myself that did not make the money I make now. And I want to save you the time. I want to save you the scars that I had to go through. Even in my short journey, I could have got there faster, believe it or not. I was literally just a 21-year-old kid, cutting hair out of my dad's garage, working a job at Amazon, and I just hated my job. That was probably the most depressed I've ever been in my life, because I had to split myself between these two things, and I really wanted to cut hair, but I was just not making no money, and I was working at Amazon, and I was just working these overnight shifts, and I just hated it, bro. And all I wanted to do was to be able to quit my Amazon job and literally just make enough money to be able to pay my bills. I just wanted to make enough money from cutting hair to be able to quit that job, so I could just be a barber and ultimately just do what I love. If you want to make this year your best year, check out the community. It's 100% free, and the worst thing you find out is that it actually works, and you should join sooner. And if you don't want to join, that's fine. But if you want to level up, that's the place to be. Peace.